Jim has appeared at 14 of 30 Major League Baseball stadiums, most recently in Minneapolis, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. In January, Jim returns to his alma mater, the University of Kansas, to perform prior to the Kansas-Texas men's basketball season. Joining Jim today is Gary Israel, publisher of Estero Life magazine.
And MP3.
Somebody repeat
it's in
Stephen.
the dad as well.
I got you.
Angel Thomas. It's in the dad.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem here before a nice gathering. Easily the biggest crowd of the day in the 3 games we've had. Ohio State and Western Kentucky played earlier against DePaul, Baylor, and Kent State. We mentioned the Buckeyes now in Florida Gulf Coast. And later on, the game following us, Syracuse and
Fans, let's
George
meet our
Washington. The
teams.
winner
First,
plays the
for
winner
the
of that
visiting
game
team on the
tomorrow. The
scoreboard,
loser
the
will play the
FGCU
loser
Eagles.
of that game tomorrow. Time now for the starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll begin with the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Again, the visiting team are wearing the dark green uniforms here. They're 2-2 on the year. Last year they were 33-6, a Division I record for wins. They're an ASUN participant. They were upset in the ASUN final last year. Did not make the NCAA tournament, but a couple of years ago, the first round upset, it took the number 1 seed down to the wire. This is a program that was founded in 2001 by inspiring head coach Carl Smesco, and they went Division I 2007-2008. They routinely are at the top of the NCAA charts in 3 points made and attempted, so they're going to be shooting a lot of trays. This could be a 3-point game for sure, both ways. Carl Smesco, as mentioned, is in his 15th year as the head coach here. Overall, as a Division I head coach, 247 wins, just 54 losses. Coach Smesco, a Kent State grad, 1993, and he was the mid-major coach of the year last year by ESPNW. For the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, their lineup looks like this. Up front, Rosemarie Julian, a 5'11 junior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, averages 8 points and 2.8 rebounds a game. Also up front, Tatiana Adderley, a 5'10 freshman guard from Jupiter, Florida, 6 points, and their leading rebounder at 9 per game. Their guards in backcourt, Erica Nelson, a 5'8 junior from Lee Summit, Missouri, their leading scorer at 14.3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Jordan Alexander also in the backcourt, a 5'11 redshirt senior from Fishers, Indiana, averages 3.5 points, 2 boards a game. And Taylor Gradigan also rounds out their starting 5. Gradigan, a 5'9 redshirt junior guard from Cotty, Wisconsin, averages 8.8 points and 4.3 rebounds per game. For the 3-1 Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked 8th in both polls, Coach Kevin McGuff in year number 4 at Ohio State, 70-38. Their lineup looks like this. The forward, Stephanie Mavunga, a 6'3 redshirt junior forward from Brownsburg, Indiana, did not play against LIU Brooklyn, is averaging in 3 games 12.7 points and 11 rebounds per game. Also up front for the Buckeyes, Shayla Cooper, a 6'2 senior from Norcross, Georgia. She's averaging 12 points, 5.5 rebounds per game, needs just 249 points for 1,000 in her career, the lone senior on this Buckeye roster. 3-guard look, and arguably the finest in the country in Kelsey Mitchell, preseason All-Big Ten Player of the Year pick, preseason All-American candidate by a number of outlets, a 5'8 junior from Cincinnati, needs one more 3 to tie Katie Motter for the school record of 270. Motter did that 01 to 05. Mitchell, just a junior, playing in her 5th game in her junior year with 1 3, will equal Motter for the school record and 8th on the all-time scoring list at 1,859 points. Mitchell this year leads the Big Ten at 24 points per game on average. In backcourt, along with her, Sierra Calhoun, a 6-foot redshirt sophomore guard from Brooklyn, New York. Calhoun averaging 14 points and 3 rebounds per game. Came off of a career-high 22 on 5 triples in Ohio State's win against LIU Brooklyn. Of course, Calhoun from Brooklyn, so that had to be a sweet little bit of a homecoming for her, although be it in Columbus last Saturday. And Asia Doss rounds out the lineup for the Buckeyes, a 5'7" junior from Detroit, Country Day School, averaging 7.3 points and 3.8 rebounds per game. Mavunga and Cooper up front, Mitchell, Calhoun, and Doss in the backcourt. And again, for Florida Gulf Coast, and a team that has attempted almost half of their shots from beyond the arc. 263 field goal attempts this year, 123 are three-point tries, and a third of their makes are threes. 36 of their 103 made field goals. Up front, they'll have Julian and Adderley, the backcourt of Gradigan, Alexander, and Nelson. The Gulf Coast Showcase, 4th annual in Estero, Florida. We're just south of Fort Myers, just north of Naples. And we've got a beautiful day here, a great crowd gathering at Germain Arena. Ed Zidlansky, Kylie Galloway, and Darren McClure are the three officials. And the Buckeyes are onto the floor in their home whites, scarlet numerals, gray trimming. Florida Gulf Coast in the greens, all green jersey tops and shorts with white numerals, lettering blue, trimmed in white. We are opposite the Ohio State bench, opposite the scores table. And Ohio State in the first half will move from right to left. Opening tap one with the Buckeyes. Kelsey Mitchell will start in front court to our left for Ohio State. Underway in game 3 of the day in this first round of the 3-day Gulf Coast Showcase. Mitchell has it at the top. Florida Gulf Coast is man-to-man. Mitchell through the paint, pitches it out to Cooper. A right wing triggered three, board ball. Mavunga, the weak side rebound, dribbles back to her left, spins, fades, fires off glass, and scores. Mavunga. 2-0 Ohio State. We had a warning immediately on Shayla Cooper of Ohio State. After the ball went through the rim, she apparently tapped it back, and she is warned by official Kylie Galloway. Florida Gulf Coast with the ball and going left to right here in the first half. Quarter number 1, a half minute in, 2-0 Buckeyes. Gradigan has it at the top, gives it off now for Nelson. She'll leave it for Adderley. Right wing, it'll come near side off the screen. Gradigan to the baseline, sealed off on top Alexander. Ball now headed the key for Julian. Julian will drive on Cooper into a double team. Mavunga swatted the shot, but right on out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock, and Ohio State will defend. Florida Gulf Coast will have it under their own bucket with 9:10 to play in the opening quarter. 2-0 Ohio State. Inbounds from Adderley. Left of the backboard. Gets it in left sideline, Julian. Ball out top for Gradigan. Sends a three. In and out, no good. That one circled the cylinder high off the backboard and nearly went back through. Rebound Ohio State, Mavunga out to Mitchell. Flip it for Calhoun, forecourt right wing. Front court to our left. Now to Cooper at the left wing. Angles into the paint. Short 5-footer. Put it up off the glass. And it hit the rim twice and didn't go. Mavunga the rebound. Gives it back for Cooper at the low right. Fresh shot clock. Ohio State leading 2-0. Drop it from Mavunga. Baseline. Square up. Shoot a 10-footer. Airball it strong. And the rebound to Florida Gulf Coast off to Julian. Julian up the right flank. Left wing it'll go for McGee. McGee to the top of the circle and Julian on the drive. Pivots mid-post left. Throws it across to Adderley for a right wing triple. Missed it. Shayla Cooper, Ohio State's rebound. Now for Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell in the front court for Calhoun at the left wing. She'll spot and send a three. Nope, 2-point shot. We get a whistle off the ball on a personal foul on Florida Gulf Coast. Erica Nelson called for the foul. Her first and the first of the game either way. Kelsey Mitchell for the Buckeyes will inbound, loops it on top for Shayla Cooper. Cooper on the take, right of the key. Reverses to the middle of the lane, banks it off the square, a strong take, and Shayla Cooper scored. 4-0 Buckeyes. Quickly, Florida Gulf Coast the other way. Alexander flips it out on the right wing, angling through the paint. Julian, she'll send it out left wing for an open three. Gradigan, front iron, no good. Florida Gulf Coast cold to start. 2 minutes in, 4-0 Buckeyes. Mitchell in forecourt, near point left side. Sends a three off the dribble. Airballed it strong. The ball's going to go on out of bounds, and Kelsey Mitchell missed it badly. It'll go over to Florida Gulf Coast. We played a little more than 2 minutes. Ohio State with a 4-0 lead. Buckeyes apply some token pressure here. Some man full court it looks like. In backcourt, Adderley throws it in and tipped out off of Ohio State. It's off of Asia Doss. The pass went in for Nelson. From left to right, the Eagles look to bring it up. Ball in for Julian. She'll bring it across on Doss. Throws it near right corner, open. Alexander moves by Mavunga, right of the key. Puts a short jumper up at the block. Missed it. Calhoun the rebound. Off for Kelsey Mitchell. Ohio State leading 4-0. Behind the back pass for Cooper at the right wing. Cooper on the drive down the lane. Short floater up, no good. Whistle charge called on Shayla Cooper. And I'm not sure about that one, but they'll go on Ohio State with that personal foul call. Cooper's first, like a 50-50 guess there, and the first of the game on the Buckeyes. It's 4-0 in favor of the Bucks. And the Eagles have it, just getting it across the court. Julian threw it away to Cooper. Shayla Cooper for Ohio State. Slows, numbers not there. Waits for her teammates, gives to Mitchell. Crossover dribble, pop a three at the top. Long two, they say. Banked it off the heel, no good. Rebound Adderley, Florida Gulf goes. For Nelson, down the midline of the floor. On Cooper, takes her right of the key. Heels off to the near right wing. Comes on top for Gradijan. Check there by Doss. 19 to shoot. Not quite 3 minutes played. 4-0 Ohio State. Julian, top of the circle. Checked by Doss. Julian, check that. Guarded by Mitchell. Ball to go high right now for Gradijan. Gradijan at the top of the circle with 7. Works left of the lane. Throws it out on the left wing. Crossing over Adderley. 2 to shoot. Way on top. Julian tins a prayer up. It's an air ball and right on out of bounds. And Ohio State made him work 30 seconds there, forcing a bad shot, and ultimately gets the basketball back. We've got a substitution now with Julian checking out for Florida Gulf Coast. 4-0 Ohio State. That guy's defensively playing extremely intense here early on. Mitchell on the take, goes left to the key, to the left block, through traffic into the paint. Fumbles a dribble for Cooper, pitch it to Doss for a right wing triple. No good, rebound Florida Gulf Coast, taken by Nelson. Eagles quickly back, left to right. Takes Cooper to the low left, spins it in with the left hand. Erica Nelson. Eagles on the board, Buckeyes run back quickly. Doss angles in, trailing Cooper at the top. Steps into a three, head of the circle. Cooper, no good, back iron. Long rebound kicks for Nelson. Nelson for Florida Gulf Coast, drives in on Calhoun, goes to the bucket. Calhoun may have blocked it. She did, tipping it out of bounds, and the Eagles will keep it. We're seeing two teams that want to go tempo here early on. China Dow checked into the game for Florida Gulf Coast. Her inbounds pass is tipped out of bounds. China Dow, a redshirt junior from Louisville, Kentucky, a transfer from Middle Tennessee State. She's had a good year, 6.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, and she comes off the bench for the Eagles. Speaking of, here's Jessica Catani checking in for the first time. Redshirt junior from Muskego, Wisconsin. Catani will replace Gradijan for Florida Gulf Coast. They have the ball with 6:16 to play first quarter. Ohio State leading 4-2. Inbounds comes for Alexander. And Jordan Alexander had it tipped away and knocked out of bounds off a buck out of the far side. And in front of the Ohio State bench, the Eagles will play it back in. Deep front court, left corner. Adderley in for Nelson. Nelson dribbles at the top with 15 to shoot. Skips a pass to the right wing, it's down. Thought about the three. Mitchell checks her with a man-to-man defense. 10 on the shot clock. 4 minutes played in the opening quarter. At the top of the circle, Alexander drives, pitch out, right wing, Adderley, a three for the lead, no good. Cooper the rebound, Ohio State. Now for Kelsey Mitchell, yet to score. Mitchell crosses over at the top, plays for Calhoun at the left wing. Looks like Florida Gulf Coast in a 2-3 zone now. Ball to Mavunga, into the lane. Got to get a whistle and a charge on Stephanie Mavunga. Looked like she dropped the shoulder. Now, they may have given an off arm, and for Mavunga, her first personal foul, the second on Ohio State in the first quarter. 4-2 Ohio State, 5:43 left opening quarter, full court pressure Buckeyes. Catani gets it in now for Nelson, who's across the line at the high right. Skips a pass over left corner, open Alexander, drives by her defender to the baseline, lays it in. Nobody picked her up, and Alexander ties it at 4. Played 4.5 minutes first quarter, 4 apiece. Mitchell quickly down the left side of the key. Throws to Calhoun at the near left corner. Angles out left point, steps back, shoots a three. Got it, Sierra Calhoun. Calhoun's 12th of the year. She's averaging nearly 3.3 three-point field goals made per game. Hit 5 of them against LIU Brooklyn. A right wing answer, triple try from Catani, and she buried it for Florida Gulf Coast. 7 apiece on back-to-back triples each way. Mitchell for Ohio State, hands for Doss to the right wing front court. Doss to the right baseline, and now out to the right wing. She's hounded in the Alexander man defense. They're changing their defenses. There's Cooper off to the left wing, and Mitchell, 15 to shoot. Mitchell at the foul line on the dribble, passes from Mavunga, got free at the left block and banked it in, assist Mitchell. 4 for Mavunga. Buckeyes lead at 9-7 with 4:40 left in the opening quarter. Florida Gulf Coast with China Dow at the left wing, crosses over Cooper, drives into the left block, banked it up, missed it, rebound Cooper. Taps it to herself. Gets it now on the outlet for Mitchell. Up the right flank. 5 players to check into the next whistle. Mitchell with a no-look dime. Dropped it for Mavunga and laid it in. Another assist, Mitchell. Mavunga with a half dozen. A beautiful pass. She was angling left and dropped it over her head. A 3 at the top, caught by Katani, blocked by Ohio State. Mavunga swatted at the head of the circle. And then a foul called on Florida Gulf Coast will bring us to our first timeout. It's on Katani, who missed the 3, had her shot blocked by Mavunga and then fouled Mavunga. Second team foul on Florida Gulf Coast, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 4:13 to play in the opening quarter. Massive substitutions. We'll try to catch those when we come back. Ohio State leads Florida Gulf Coast 11-7 with 4:13 left in the first period, and you're listening to the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. Levels all right, ma'am? Thank you. Yes, Shayla Cooper. And I will intro it because I screwed up the start, I think. But that'll be our second halftime segment, and then I'll also outro it and send it right back to break. Cool? Thanks, Mike. For Alexa Hart, Asia Doss, Kelsey Mitchell, Tori McCoy's checked in, and freshman Kiera Lewis as well. Florida Gulf Coast goes with Dow, Nelson, Katani, McGee, and Gradijan. Mitchell in front court, Ohio State right to left, leading by 4. Off to Doss at the right point. Back to go from Mitchell. Now she'll give it high post left side for Hart. She squares up. She flips it over to the corner. Lewis will drive baseline. Nothing there. Comes back out to the wing. Now throws for a wide open Tori McCoy, who got hacked on the arm going up for the shot right of the rim. And McCoy will be to the line to shoot a pair. Nelson's called for the foul, her second. And on Florida Gulf Coast, the third. Eagles 3 of 12 shooting to open this game. Buckeyes 5 of 13. Each team has hit a triple in 6 tries. Rebounding number, Buckeyes +1 here in the early going. Tori McCoy uses all of the cylinder. It hits it twice. It kicks high into the air and rolls off. No good. It has been a struggle at the line for the freshman from Champaign, Illinois. At 6'4", she is now 1 out of 8 on the year from the line. Second free throw from McCoy. Missed it badly, wide left. Rebound off to Katani of Florida Gulf Coast. Some token pressure in backcourt, but she gets it across the line to Dow. Dow will flip it out to the left wing. An open three-point shot. Rattles down. That was Gradijan. Taylor Gradijan hits her 8th 3 of the year. First points of the game. Buckeyes by 1. 3:40 to play first quarter. Mitchell at the right corner for the Buckeyes. Kelsey yet to score. Over to Lewis. Wide open to the left wing. Her three-point shot's no good. It glances to the far side of the rim, and McGee runs down the rebound for the Eagles. McGee into forecourt on the drive down the lane. Drops it baseline right. Jumper put up. No good that time by Alexander. Ball tipped out of bounds off of Ohio State. And it'll go off Alexa Hart. And it will stay with Florida Gulf Coast. 3:23 left to go opening period. 11-10. Buckeyes lead the Eagles. Ball looped out top for Katani. Checked by Kiera Lewis in the man-to-man. Right in front of us. Forecourt left to right. Eagles half 1. Lob underneath, caught by Gradijan, rolls to the goal and missed the layup try. Rebound Hart, Ohio State. Off for Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell at the top of the circle, pulls up, left-handed triple try, no good. Rebound Tori McCoy. She dribbles through traffic, banks it up and scored at the low right. Strong move by freshman McCoy, her first points, and the Buckeyes lead 13-10. But the Eagles with Alexander quickly back, drives all the way through, goes to the left block. Hasters on top now for Dow. One more time for Katani at the right wing. Dow has it top of the circle. Left wing going to go Alexander. She'll drive baseline on Doss. Go to the goal, put it up, no good, whistle and a foul. And Doss is going to be guilty of the push. Her first and the third of the opening quarter on Ohio State. It's a shooting foul as she was on the drive. Number of folks here, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, we're playing on ice with the minor league hockey team out of the ECHL playing here, but it's a cool arena as the first free throw goes in for Jordan Alexander, her third point. And a number of folks here in this sunny 80-degree weather in Fort Myers, Estero, Florida. Number of jackets around the arena. Second free throw for Alexander. That's good. Fourth point. 13-12, Buckeyes. 2:40 left first period. Kelsey Mitchell at the point for Ohio State, works at the top, comes to the left off of McCoy's screen, goes to the right off the same pick, and now thought about the three and double dribbled. Good call. It looked like she did. They called her for palming, and she did bring it high and then put it back down, and the turnover unofficially on Ohio State. That's giveaway number 2. 13-12, first quarter, inbounds pass, clock didn't start, stoppage in play, and they'll reboot it. That has been a theme also here in the first day of the tournament. Some clock issues, some foul issues, but it's all been resolved, and now we're back underway as Alexander crosses into front court for the Eagles. Moving on, Lewis to the top, gives it for Gradijan. Mitchell's arms wide spread as she guards her in the man-to-man. Ball straight away now for Julian. Rosemarie Julian dribbles with 10 to shoot. Throws it left wing for McGee. McGee will drive in, put it up. They're going to count it. No, they're going to wave it off. Did he count it or say charge? He said charge. Player control foul on Michaela McGee, her first, and the 14th foul, a player control foul. A little bit of uncertainty with the call because he dropped the arm down as if maybe and one, but it was a charge as he pointed the other way. Mitchell working around the top of the horn, and she's bodied and bumped. Fouled out top, looked like Julian. Rosemarie Julian, the junior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, gets her first. And Kelsey Mitchell will go to the line as the Buckeyes, with 2:03 to play in the opening quarter, the benefactor of the penalty here, the 15th foul on Florida Gulf Coast. Mitchell, 73% this year on the line, and that one's no good. Junior from Princeton High School, 2-time first-team All-American, yet to score in the game, averages 24 for the Buckeyes. Second one, line left, Mitchell. Soft feathery touch and in, and her first point makes it 15-12 Ohio State. Quickly back Florida Gulf Coast, 15-12 to play, rather 2 minutes to play first quarter. Tori McCoy will bump and foul on top Gradijan, drawing the foul working left. Gradijan fell down, and McCoy guilty of foul number 1. 4th team foul on OSU. Fresh shot clock for the Eagles. Under 2 to play in the quarter. Alexander dribbling out top. Passes now for Julian. Julian checked by Calhoun, head of the wheel. Now drives down the lane on Calhoun, takes her to the bucket and scored. Good take by Julian. One-on-one move with Calhoun. 15-14 Ohio State, 1:38 to play first quarter. Lexa Hart, top of the circle, dribbles once, fans it off for Kiera Lewis. Lewis will leave for Calhoun between the rings. She'll cross over, drive down the lane, scoop it up with the left hand, no good. Over the back though on the rebound, Tori McCoy, and guilty of her second foul in about 30 seconds. And that'll send Florida Gulf Coast to the line for free throws with 1:27 to play in the first quarter, and the Buckeye lead is 1. 2 shots for Florida Gulf Coast. Chance to take the lead. Coach McGuffin agree with the call on Tori McCoy. He's over there conferencing with Darren McClure, one of the 3 officials. Buckeyes are going to send 3 players in here after the first free throw from Jordan Alexander. Apparently there is some blood either on the knee or the jersey of Taylor Gradijan. It looks like the left knee. She goes over to the Florida Gulf Coast trainer, who will try to clean that up prior to the free throws by Jordan Alexander. There's the second horn indicating you've got a sub, or the player has to be ready. Or was it the first horn? That must have been the first horn, but time continues to tick, and the trainer just now has her finished up, and she's out on the floor and all right. They wrapped a blue bandage around her left knee. For Ohio State, Cooper, Waterman, and Mavunga all back in. And for Michaela Waterman, the sophomore from Kettering, Ohio, her first action today. Here's Alexander, line right for the free throw, the first of two. As for the tie, it's good. Florida Gulf Coast is a team 64% on the year from the line, and Alexander now 7 of 9. 3 of 3 in this game. Second one for the lead. That's good. First lead of the game for the Eagles. Half dozen for Jordan Alexander. 1:27 to play, first quarter from Estero, Florida. Man-to-man defense for the Eagles as Kelsey Mitchell walks it across the line slowly. Loops it for Waterman, high post, just above the foul line. And Cooper coming across the lane was armed and decked and fouled by Florida Gulf Coast Gradigan. 2 free throws, Shayla Cooper, Ohio State. You can hear the Eagle fans disapprove of the call. First foul on Gradigan. And Shayla Cooper, 4 of 6 this year from the line for 2, line left. First one's good to tie the game. Cooper has 3 points, 16 up. Cooper's second one. Got it. Ohio State back in the lead. 17-16, 1:18 to play in the opening quarter. Full court pressure, and in backcourt, Nelson ran down an errant pass. In trouble. Gets it in backcourt for Adderley. She'll leave it for Nelson, who will bring it across the line with a few seconds to spare. Mitchell jabs at her as Nelson dribbles at the top. Still dribbling, now pulls up, plays it for Julian, sends it near right corner, an open 3 try. That one missed by Taylor Goodall, and the rebound off to Cooper of Ohio State. Quickly ahead for Mitchell. Mitchell through the circle. Still on the dribble, crosses over, goes to the paint, no-look pass, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Ohio State. Adderley deflected it. Pass went from Mavunga at the left block, but onto the baseline. A number of WNBA coaches and scouts are here today for this tournament. 4 of the top 18 of women's teams in the country. 4 of the 8 in this field. It's a great field. Mitchell, baseline left with about 21 to shoot. Ohio State a 1-point lead. Lob from Mavunga. Caught at left block. Wheels to her right. Soft feathery touch. Missed it point blank. Rebound off to Gradigan of Florida Gulf Coast. Leaves it for Nelson. Nelson in front court on Kiera Lewis. Takes her to the low right. Dribbles through. Whistle. Foul. Kiera Lewis. On the take. More free throws coming. First foul on Lewis. With 38.5 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Both teams in the penalty. So at least for the next 40 seconds until this first quarter ends, and then the clock will, the scoreboard I should say, and the numbers reset on the foul count. First free throw missed by Erica Nelson. She's a 62% free thrower. And here's the second one coming. For the tie, she just shot puts it up and missed it. Cooper the rebound for Ohio State. Shayla's got 4 unofficially already on the boards. Mitchell in front court, leaves for Lewis. Lewis angles through, jump pass out to Cooper, left wing. Now she'll drive to the left of the key, move to the foul line, spin down the middle of the lane, put it up with a soft right-hand push. Shayla Cooper with a half dozen, along with Mavunga to lead Ohio State. 19-16 Buckeyes, 15 seconds left, opening quarter. Katani at the point, leaves it now for Nelson. 10 seconds left, she sets the floor at the center circle. Dribbling in Katani, veers right, 5 seconds left. Pass goes on top for Julian. Julian down the lane, pitch left wing, Gradigan, 3 for the tie, no good. And there's the horn to end the first quarter. She had an open look from the deep left corner in front of the Buckeye bench. Could not get it to go. 1 quarter in the books from Estero, Florida, and an entertaining first 10 minutes. 8th-ranked Ohio State leads Florida Gulf Coast 19-16 after 1 quarter, and you're listening to the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. the Ohio State 5. Jessica Catani, Erica Nelson, Rosemary Julian, Taylor Gradijan, and Tatiana Adderley, the 5 on the floor for Florida Gulf Coast. And at the top, a trap hit at the left point. A near steal by Waterman, but it's caught at center circle by Gradijan. Bounce pass near right corner for Catani. Quarter 2, Florida Gulf Coast left to right. Trailing 18-16, feed it in the middle of the lane for Adderley. Throws it around the arm now for Nelson at the baseline. Out to the left wing, Gradijan. Buckeyes guarding well in the half-court man. Catani at the top with 5 to shoot. Gives ahead of the circle, Julian. She'll pull the trigger from 3 and swish it in front of Mavunga. Julian with her 5th 3 of the year, and that was a desperation triple heave. Gives Florida Gulf Coast the lead. Well, the box score I was just handed has 19-16, and instead it's now 19-18 Florida Gulf Coast. Thank you. Low on the right, they just gave me a new one. Mavunga puts it up and missed it. Still, it says 19-16 after 1 quarter in the official stats, but the scoreboard reads 19-18 Florida Gulf Coast. Catani at the left point. Gives it head of the circle for Julian. Minute gone. Eagles lead. They've had a couple of 1-point leads. It's currently that now. Catani dribbles on Waterman down the lane, scoops it up, laid it up, missed it. Mavunga the rebound, Ohio State. For Kelsey Mitchell, who has 1 free throw in this game. Mitchell into forecourt at the left point, on top for Cooper. Cooper will start right at the key and now moving to the middle of the lane. Float it up, miss it, and a whistle and a foul on the shot. Are you going to get a foul on Florida Gulf Coast, or was it after the shot? No, it's on the shot, and Gradijan picks up her second, the first of the second quarter on Florida Gulf Coast. Well, the official box score we were handed as 19-16 Ohio State after 1. Scoreboard had it that, changed it to 18-16. And that free throw ties it for Cooper at 19 apiece. 7th point for Shayla Cooper, who is perfect from the line right now, 3 out of 3. Has 5 rebounds as well in the first 10 and a half minutes, 11 minutes of this game. 19 up with 8:39 to play opening half. Cooper. Second free throw line left. Puts it up. Missed it. Rebound, Florida Gulf Coast is Adderley. And in backcourt, tipped out of bounds. They're going to say off of Waterman of Ohio State. The officials looked at one another for the call, and they give it to the Gulf Coast Ball Club. Buckeyes continue full court pressure. Alexander, though, breaks it quickly. Bounce pass ahead near right wing. Julian checks the feet, gives it for Nelson, right point. Flips it inside. Great pass. Adderley got right behind Cooper and laid it in at the right block. Her first points, 21-19 is the Florida Gulf Coast lead. There's Waterman down the lane, scoops it up with the left hand from the right angle to the left block and scored. Michaela Waterman. Her first points, Buckeyes and Eagles even at 21. Nelson, top of the circle. Off for Adderley, shoots a 3 at the top, it's no good. Cooper the rebound, Ohio State. Now for Kelsey Mitchell, up the left flank. Mitchell crosses over, pulls left to the key. 3-pointer hit it. Kelsey Mitchell with a crossover pull-up triple. That ties the all-time career school record for triples in a career. Now quickly, Florida Gulf Coast back at the right corner. Julian misses a 3. Rebound, Ohio State, it's Doss. Doss on the take, out for Mitchell. She'll dribble into the paint. Pitch it over to Cooper, open for a left wing triple, no good. Rebound, Florida Gulf Coast, McGee. 7.5 to play, first half, Buckeyes 24, Eagles 21. Nelson pulls at the top, Chop puts a 3 up there, missed it. Cooper tips the rebound to Mitchell. Long outlet, Mavunga running the floor, dribbles to her right, spins to her left and scored. Timeout, Florida Gulf Coast. Mavunga with the lay-in on a great outlet with 8 points. 26-21 Buckeyes, who have run the last 7. And again, just a note on the Mitchell triple, that 3-pointer gives her 270 in her Buckeye career, tying her with Katie Motter, who played with Ohio State from 01 to 05 for the school career 3-point make record. We've got a timeout on the floor with 7:20 to play in the first half. Ohio State leads Florida Gulf Coast 26-21, and you're listening to the in the first half, and the Buckeyes will apply full court pressure on Florida Gulf Coast. They've got to go left to right 94 feet. And against the full court pressure, the inbounds comes for Julian. Gives it back to McGee. Michaela McGee brings it in forecourt. Now leaves it off for the point guard, Erica Nelson. Nelson guarded out top by Calhoun. Back cutting. Alexander missed a layup at the lower right. Rebound tipped a couple of times. Sierra Calhoun comes away with it for the Buckeyes. Now up the left wing for Doss. Doss angles to the paint. Lays it up strong. Whistle foul before. Nope, on the drive. They're going to say in the act of the shot. And the foul is on Jordan Alexander. That's her first, second team foul. Now the scoreboard, 26-21 Buckeyes. Box score now corrected after that timeout, given the new box sheet. Everything's all identical. First free throw missed by Doss, line left. Junior from Detroit averages 7 points, 4 boards a game. Here's a second one for Doss. 2 of 7 now in the year at the line, and now 3 of 8 as she hits 1 of 2. Run is 8-0 Buckeyes. Lead is 27-21 Ohio State. Nelson in front court. Stoppage, clock issues. Again, shot clock never started. This is a great tournament. I had the privilege of being here a year ago. They had the same issues a year ago. And they've had them in day one today with the clock and 6:58 on the game clock, 30 to shoot, but obviously that is now showing 6:55 on the game clock, 27 on the shot clock. Officials continue to conference over near the Ohio State bench. In front court at the sideline, McGee will inbound for Florida Gulf Coast. Ball comes in left point for Julian. Julian between the circles with a right-hand dribble, checked by Doss and Ohio State's man defense. A screen that can't be used. Julian brings the dribble up and leaves for Gradijan between the keys. Shot clock at 15. Hart guards her, high right. Pass goes top of the circle for McGee. Shot clock at 9. Balled off right wing for Julian. Angles off the screen, drives by Doss and got fouled going, I beg your pardon, by Hart. Got fouled going in at the low right, and the foul on Hart is her first. Free throws coming for the Eagles. Rosemarie Julian, a 5'11 junior from St. Lucie, Florida. Yet to miss a free throw this year, 11 for 11. That one circles the cylinder and goes down, her 6 point. She's a transfer from Chipola Junior College. Shooter and driver, the scout on Julian. Second free throw, got them both. 27-23 Buckeyes, 6.5 to play first half from Estero, Florida. Florida Gulf Coast picks up half-court man-to-man. Mitchell across the line, loops a pass, high post left for Hart, squares up, flips a jumper up, and no good front iron. Mavunga went for the rebound, got sealed off, and now an Eagle falls to the floor and corrals it. Here comes Gradijan with the ball on the outlet up the left wing, drives right by Mavunga, nobody slowed her and laid it in. Gradijan with 5, and Ohio State poor defensive transition defense there. Doss at the circle, through the left side of the lane to the basket. She hits the floor, shot swatted away, taken by China Dow. Dow throws it right wing, 3-point shot, Gradijan, good, and the Eagles lead it. Gradijan's triple from the near corner gives her 8. 5:53 to play in the first half, and Florida Gulf Coast 28-27 on top. The Buckeyes led 27-21, so a 7-0 run for the Eagles. Coach McGuff wanted a foul called on the other, and he uses his first half 30-second timeout. But again, defensive transition work for Ohio State, not good in that little 2-minute segment. A Florida Gulf Coast team that averages 9 made threes per game. And really an alarming stat here early on is that Ohio State is giving up nearly 10 3-point shots made per game. 9.8, and opponents shooting the three at 40% against Ohio State this year. 5:49 to play opening half. Florida Gulf Coast trailed moments ago by 6. They lead now by a point. Kelsey Mitchell, 1 field goal, goes to the basket, make it 2, as she laid it in with a left-handed circle the cylinder and win. 6 for Mitchell. 29-28 Buckeyes on a lead change. 5.5 to play in the first half. Ball head of the circle for McGee, guarded by Mitchell. Plays it right wing for Gradijan. Thought about the triple. Back on top, McGee reverses left wing for Dow. China Dow can't use the pick. Gives it now for Gradijan. Head of the circle for Julian. 10 to shoot. Waterman guards Julian. Julian drives to the low left. Throws it out to the left corner. An open three for Gradigan. Air ball strong. Asia Doss, the near side, weak side rebound, Ohio State. Gallops into front court. Passes from Mavunga. One dribble at the low right. Throws it out to Calhoun right corner. Steps in. 18-foot jumper. Bucket. Bucket good. Whistle and a foul. Count the basket. Sierra Calhoun with 5 on that field goal. They caught a foul on Ohio State after the bucket went through. Count the basket. I think they got Shayla. Well, let's see. Michaela Waterman called for the foul, her first, and the second on Ohio State in this quarter. Ohio State the lead, 31-28. Buckeyes have answered with 4 after falling down 1. Nelson off for Alexander, right point. Passes head of the circle for Gradigan. Gradigan skips it near right wing for Alexander, guarded by Calhoun. Ball goes back on top for Dow. Couple of dribbles on Waterman. Gives it near right wing for McGee. Shot clock at 8. Now to the cutter at the low right. Ball laid up and in on the go to the basket by Nelson. Nelson got it on the flash and put it into the right block. Has 4. Mitchell back for Ohio State with the Bucks leading 31-30. Mitchell high left, throws a long 3. No good. Wide left. Rebound kicks long out of bounds. Eagles ball. Florida Gulf Coast trailing by a point with the Rock with 4:23 to play in the first half. Mitchell now 1 of 4 from Treyland. 31-30 Ohio State. Nelson in front court on Mitchell at the top of the circle. Skips a pass left wing Gradigan off the screen. A 3 is no good off the heel of the rim. Doss the rebound Buckeyes. Outlet now ahead for Mitchell. Mitchell at the top, dribbles between her legs, fumbles the ball out to the point, picks it back up and double dribble. Good call. She sure did. That's Ohio State's 3rd turnover. Kelsey realizes the mistake there. Now 4 to play in the first half and the lead 1 for OSU. Nelson up the left side in front court for the Eagles. Comes off the screen. Nelson gives it for Gradigan. Left point, driving in, throws it left corner for Dow. Works down to the baseline, goes to the left block. Oh, they're going to call a hand check on Michaela Waterman. Wow. Waterman's 2nd foul, the 3rd on the Buckeyes in this quarter. She put 2 hands on her, and they're going to call that every time. Mitchell checks out for Ohio State. Cooper back in. Dow out for Florida Gulf Coast. Adderley checked in along with Julian, and she replaces Nelson. 3:48 left in the first half. Buckeyes 31, Eagles 30. Inbounds left wing in front court for Florida Gulf Coast's Julian. Down to the left point. It's handled by McGee. Head of the circle for Adderley. Shot clock is at 20. Ball to Julian, top of the key. Guarded by Mavunga. Now drives on Mavunga. Pitches it out near corner. Gradigan's 3. Airballed it. Missed it left of the rim from the near pocket. Rebound Doss. Doss quickly into front court. Passes for Lewis. Kiera Lewis into the lane. Goes strong to the basket. Wave it off on the drive. Whistle fouled. And again, another hand check. This on the Eagles. Adderley's first. And the 3rd on Florida Gulf Coast. Although the scoreboard says 4. PA announcer says 3. I've got 3 for the quarter. They're conferencing over there. And they're still not sure. And now Ed Zedlaski, the head referee, goes over to make sure. I mean, this has been a common theme. And the conference continues. And now the official scorer relays something down to the timer, and now it looks like they're going to the official score as well. The box score says 3. They've checked with 4 different folks over there. I have 3 with that foul. Scoreboard reads 4. And now they're going to go to the benches. 4 people over there, and they can't keep track of how many fouls there have been called in this quarter. And so now they send the players and teams to their benches to check. And they're probably going to go back through and check the play-by-play. In the meantime, we'll see if we can give you some scores. 3:23 to play, first half here in Estero, Florida. Round 1, game 3 of the day. Ohio State 31, Florida Gulf Coast 30. Earlier today in this tournament, Baylor whipped up on Kent State 84-42. DePaul beat Western Kentucky 77-69. Late in the game at Arizona State, 6th-ranked Maryland demolishing number 23 Arizona State 83-40. Earlier today, Penn State lost at home to Georgetown. Let me check that. That was in San Juan. In the San Juan shootout, Georgetown 68, Penn State 54. Purdue 79, Northwestern 54 in Cancun. Princeton 64, Rutgers 34, a final from earlier today. Coming up later tonight, Minnesota and USC in the Junkanoo Jam. Delaware and Michigan State at 8 o'clock in the Radisson Thanksgiving Classic. Florida and Northwestern tonight at 8. Michigan, Winthrop at 8. Nebraska, Washington State at the South Point Thanksgiving Shootout at 9. And Iowa and JMU in the Cancun Challenge later on today. There are now a half dozen people over behind the scorers table around the 3 officials and the monitors, checking all sorts of different possibilities as to how many fouls there are in this quarter on Florida Gulf Coast. And they still continue to discuss matters with SIDs, official scores, timekeepers, bookkeepers, probably some fans. Ohio State leading 31-30. After one quarter, again, we think the score was 18-16. There was a discrepancy there. Ohio State in the lead, but now with 3:23 to play in the first half, the Buckeyes lead it by a point over a Florida Gulf Coast team not playing in their home arena, but playing in their home city here at Germain Arena, the home of the Florida Everblades, the ECHL hockey team. We're on ice, obviously covered up. But nonetheless, this delay continues, and we're working on 3 or so minutes of the delay. The last time Ohio State won a mid-season tournament, or an early season tournament, if it were, you got to go back to the WNIT in 2009 when they beat Bowling Green, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State to capture the preseason WNIT. Tournament officials have now gathered across the way to see if they can assist. This is really staggering, frankly. There was some issue earlier in the day, in the first session, with these things. And again, I was here last year for this tournament, and there were clock and foul issues in all 3 days, it seemed like. Now they're going to bring the coaches together, Kevin McGuff, Carl Smesko, and Ed Zidlaski, the head referee, letting them know exactly what is going on. Use our text device to see if we can get some word from Gary Pettit of the Ohio State information staff as to what might be going on. I believe it's simply all about the number of fouls, but perhaps this is a bigger situation than that. This is where I miss my analyst, Kristen Watt or Tony Resch. Just fill some time up. Well, whatever the situation, they say that's the 4th team foul on the Eagles, so the Buckeyes will have the ball. A common foul inbounds from Mitchell at the right wing. Kelsey with a crossover on top for Cooper. After that, about 5-minute delay. Shayla Cooper down the key right side, leans in, ducks in, gets free, gave a shoulder, no call. No call underneath. Cooper lays it in, and they boo the home folks too. Buckeye fans clapping. Ohio State leads at 33-30 with 3 to play first half. From Estero, Florida, Adderley at the right wing, drives baseline, and Mavunga goes all the way through, throws it out of the left wing, reverse it left corner for Alexander, who angles in, gives it right point for Gradigan, steps around Cooper, steps back to the wing with 10 to shoot. Gradigan still dribbling, now for Adderley, who flashes at the head of the key, 6 to shoot. Adderley on Lewis, drives down the left side of the lane, runs into Waterman, blocking foul, Michaela Waterman. Ed Zidlaski pointing to the semicircle underneath. Waterman was not established properly, and thus the blocking foul, her 3rd. 4th team foul on Ohio State, so Waterman in foul trouble, and all 3 of her fouls have come in this second quarter. Tatiana Adderley, the freshman from Jupiter, Florida, averaging 6 points, and their leading rebounder at 9 per game. Shoots 2. First one good. Adderley's 3rd foul. You can perhaps hear Shayla Cooper talking about how she thought that was a flop. Waterman out. Doss in. Here's a second one for Adderley. Missed it. Rebound, Ohio State Mavunga. 33-31 Ohio State. 2:40 to play here in the first half. Mitchell, head of the circle, loops it for Mavunga. Power dribble to the low right. Put it up, no good, but got fouled going to the goal with a strong move in, and she'll be on the line for free throws. Adderley called for her second. Adderley will send the Buckeyes Mavunga to the line. He had to shoot in this game from the stripe 77% on the year, and line left for 2. Transfer from North Carolina. Rolls it out. Missed the free throw. No good. First team All-ACC 2 years ago. .56 points, 54 points from 1,000 in her career, and that one rolls down as it takes the iron with it. Her 9th point. 34-31 Ohio State. Pressing full court. 2.5 to play in the first half. It's Gradigan breaking the pressure. Ohio State's pressure not that effective here tonight to this point. Gradigan dribbling top of the circle on Doss. 19 to shoot. Gradigan still dribbling, looking for a cutter. Yo-yo's the dribble at the top. Passes left wing for Alexander in front of the Buckeye bench. Alexander, one dribble back to Gradigan to the top. She'll drive down the lane. Lost the dribble, comes back through with it. Gives it out to the near right corner, angling through Julian. Back out top, Gradigan. 3 to shoot, middle of the lane. Plays it on top. Julian's 3 at the horn. No, she missed it, front iron. Rebound, Mavunga, Ohio State. Good defensive set for the Buckeyes. It's Mitchell at the top. Kelsey crosses over, comes off the pick. Plays it over for Lewis at the left wing. Through traffic to the basket with the left hand, missed it. Mavunga going for the rebound, saved it, but out of bounds as she stepped on the baseline. And it'll go over to the Eagles. Lewis tried to angle through traffic that time and missed a layup try. 1:46 to play opening half. 34-31. Buckeyes by a triple. Nelson in forecourt for the Eagles. Checked by Doss at the top. With the right-hand dribble still. Now the take, Nelson. She moves to the basket. Pretty good defense there by Doss, whose hands were up. And Ed Zidlaski's going to call a blocking foul on Asia Doss. Second foul on Doss. I'm not sure how you play defense better than that. Here's Nelson for 2 shots, line right. She's missed 2 free throws already in this game. And that first one's good, her 5th point. 34-32 Buckeyes, 94 seconds left first half. The official explaining to Doss that she may have leaned in there. From the body language we're detecting from across the way. Second free throw, no good. They get one and not a both. Rebound Mitchell, 34-32 Bucks. Kelsey Mitchell with 6 first half points. Ball for Lewis, head of the circle. Hands it off for Shayla Cooper. Cooper dribbles at the top of the circle. Leaves it out for Lewis at the left wing. Lewis to the basket, looks off, goes to the goal, got decked, put it up, missed a shot, but she'll have 2 free throws coming. Foul on Adderley, and that's her 3rd personal foul. So Kiera Lewis, the freshman from Chicago and Whitney Young High School, line left for 2 free throws. 10 of 15 on the year at the stripe. The first charity toss of this game is good for her first point. Good-looking freshman for the Buckeyes. Jessica Catani in for Florida Gulf Coast along with Michaela McGee. Adderley and Nelson out for the Buckeyes. Alexa Hart in for Stephanie Mavunga with 1:19 to play in the opening half. 35-32 Ohio State. Second one for Lewis. That one hit the front iron, bounced high and scores through. Full court pressure, Ohio State in a 4-point lead. 36-32, 1:18 to play in the first half. Julian goes all the way into front court. No foul call. Coach Schmesko's just been warned. Dribbling back at the top, it's Alexander. He wanted a body foul, nothing coming. It's Alexander on the take to the low right, leans in, puts a shot up, short range, missed it. Cooper, another Buckeye rebound. Under 1 minute to play opening half. Ohio State by 4. Mitchell at the head of the wheel. leaves it now for Doss. Asia Doss will pull up from 17 at the top. Line drived it and missed it terribly wide right. Julian the rebound for Florida Gulf Coast. 45 seconds left opening half. It's Alexander at the top, off the screen, can't use it. Lewis guards her, ball to China Dow, head of the wheel. Near right wing for Katani. 16 to shoot and 35 seconds left in the half. It's McGee at the head of the circle and Mitchell. Now 11 to shoot. Katani has the touch at the right point. Guarded by Lewis. Head of the circle, Julian. 5 on the shot clock. Julian looking for a back cut. Gets it to Alexander, but blew a layup at the low left. Wide open. 19 seconds left. Mitchell runs it ahead for Hart. Fumbles the ball. Saves it out for Mitchell. 13 seconds left. Dribbles behind her back. Lost the ball and turned it over. China Dow for Florida Gulf Coast. 8 seconds left in the half. Ball head of the circle. McGee shoots a 3 and hit it. 3 seconds left in the half. Cooper's inbounds comes for Doss. There's the horn, and that's the end of the first half. Well, another situation for Ohio State closing out a quarter where they take a quick shot in the final 10 seconds of the half, leaving time for the opposition, and a three-point answer there by Florida Gulf Coast, causing Ohio State to go to the locker room by 1 as opposed to 4, 6, or 7 because of the early shot in the final seconds of the quarter. Seen that a number of times this year for the Buckeyes. Buckeye ball, left to right, second half, or forecourt right in front of us, opposite the Ohio State bench where we sit. Doss gives it for Cooper at the head of the wheel. Now for Calhoun. Calhoun at the left point, holds, puts it on the floor. Loops it for Cooper, mid-post left, backs down to her right, strong, put it in from 5 feet, Shayla Cooper. Boy, she's having some sort of night, has 11 and leads the Bucks, 38-35 Ohio State in the first half minute of the second half. From right to left, Florida Gulf Coast, Erica Nelson on top now for Adderley. Adderley, the head of the circle, guarded by Mavunga. Ohio State man-to-man to open the second half. Alexander left point. Straight away now, it'll come for Adderley. She'll drive on Mavunga, spin her back to her left, goes over right shoulder, flips it up, threw up a prayer, missed it. Mavunga snatches the rebound out of midair, gives it for Mitchell. Mitchell down the midline. Mitchell off to the right, gives for Doss to the trailing Cooper, who steps into a triple. No good. Rebound Mavunga. She'll put it back down to the floor and then fall to the floor, and the ball on the floor, and we're going to get a timeout called. Mavunga had it underneath, and it looked like Shayla Cooper called timeout with Ohio State possessing. So a break in the action in the first minute of this second half. 38-35, Ohio State leads Florida Gulf Coast. That's a score, and you're listening to the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. They get the inbounds in for Gradition, and then Mavunga compounds the problem and fouls, and that's her third, and the Buckeyes in some foul trouble in the front court. Third on Mavunga. McCoy has 2. Waterman has 3. Coach Mitchell, Coach McGuff conferencing over there, trying to figure out what to do with a substitution here is Michaela McGee, the senior from St. Louis, and transfer from George Mason and Missouri State. Missed the first free throw. They're going to go to Tori McCoy, the 6'4" freshman from Champaign, Illinois, replacing a dejected Mavunga who saunters to the bench. Second one. No good, off the back iron by McGee. She missed them both. Rebound McCoy. Now for Mitchell. Kelsey up the near point. On the blow by to the basket. All the way to the goal. Right angle. Left hand. Laid it in. 10 for Mitchell. Buckeyes large lead 7. 3 minutes gone third quarter. 44-37 OSU. At the right wing in front court, Nelson. Straight away, Julian. Cooper clapping her hands defensively. Julian will drive by her, though. Threw it away into the hands of Ohio State's Asia Doss. Doss left to right, 3-on-3. Doss crosses over, floats it for McCoy, who put it up. No good. Tap Cooper, no. And I call Cooper for going over the back. Buckeyes had a layup, missed it, a tap and missed it. And again, compounding problems. Cooper over top with a foul, her second. Third of the quarter on the Buckeyes, who lead it by 7 with not quite 4 minutes gone to the third quarter. Coach McGuff working them hard over there right now. The officials, that is. Nelson in forecourt, high right. Passes straight away for Gradition. Mitchell swipes to the ball, can't get it. Gradition works right off the screen. That's a moving pick and no call. Lothard. And now we're going to get a hand check out top on Tori McCoy. Now there was a running screen set, no whistle, but then McCoy's called for her third foul at the top of the circle, and the Buckeyes stay in foul trouble in the front court. 4th team foul, Ohio State. 6:20 left to play in the third. It's Gradition at the right wing on Mitchell. Passes it on top. McGee on the drive, down the lane right side, missed the layup, try and the rebound, Cooper, Ohio State. Now for Mitchell up the right point. Cooper, by the way, with a double-double. Mitchell angles through the paint, drops a pass from McCoy. Oh, they're going to call a charge on Kelsey Mitchell. Driving through the lane, take charge, Florida Gulf Coast, and Mitchell guilty of the offensive foul. No argument there, her first, but a player control foul, the 5th of the quarter on Ohio State, 4 minutes into the period. Florida Gulf Coast yet to be called for a foul this quarter. 4 minutes played. So the Eagles in the penalty, that is a huge plus for them. They're staring their largest deficit, 7. McGee at the left wing, on top for Julian. Her 3 is wide right, no good. Asia Doss the board for the Bucks. Doss in the front court, left to right. Doss crosses over, out to Cooper, left wing, gives a ball fake, drives in, jump stop to the goal, got it! It counts and a foul for Cooper. Shayla Cooper having some sort of Friday here in Estero. 13 on the bucket, free throw coming. China Dow called for her first foul, first of the quarter on Florida Gulf Coast. 46-37 Ohio State. A 10-2 run for the Bucks out of the locker room, and Cooper for a 3-point play try, line right. That one's up and in. Shayla Cooper has 14. Ohio State leads by 10, 47-37. Not quite the midpoint of the third quarter. Julian at the top. Florida Gulf Coast can use the long ball to get back in it. They're deadly that way. They need him, though, to fall here. McGee on the drive. Smothered, lost it in the lane. Throws it out to the right wing, and Julian. Julian, right point. Head of the circle now for Gradition. Gradition to the foul line, 9 to shoot. Passes for Catani. A ball fake with 6 to shoot, top of the circle. Catani with 4 to shoot. Left of the block now for Gradition. Through traffic, 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Oh, she got the loose ball right on the rim and banked it up for a layup and scored. As the horn went off, Mitchell back right point. 3-point shot, no good. Tip wouldn't go that time by McCoy. 5 to play in the third. Eagles the ball down 8. Nelson up the left point. Crosses over, goes to the goal, laid it up, no. Rebound on the offensive side. McGee put it back, point blank, and missed it. Cooper gets the rebound, gets tied up in backcourt by Nelson. That will give Florida Gulf, nope, they called a foul, I beg your pardon. Oh, it appeared to be a tie-up, and they called Nelson for her 3rd foul. That's a 2nd team foul on Florida Gulf Coast. A break for the Buckeyes. Coach Smesko can't believe it, and I don't blame him. This will be a media timeout now. 4:49 to play in the third. Ohio State 47, Florida Gulf Coast 39. We've got a break in the action, and you're listening to the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. And it has been a tussle. 47-39 Ohio State with 4:49 to play in the third quarter. Buckeyes right now have Mitchell, Cooper, Doss, McCoy, and Calhoun on the floor. And Ohio State from left to right with the ball. Possession, Calhoun at the circle. Squares up, off the ball. Cooper decked to the floor and fouled. I think it's going to go on McGee. Check that. Yes, the foul on McGee. I beg your pardon. Her second. Third team foul on Florida Gulf Coast, and the Buckeyes will keep it under their own lid. Left baseline. Mitchell loops it out for Cooper at the left elbow. Gives it back to Mitchell, left wing. Steps to the baseline. Now hooks a pass back out to Calhoun. She dribbles and drives. Goes to the basket. Throws it for McCoy. The ball was kicked out of bounds off Florida Gulf Coast. Good passing there by Mitchell, interior to McCoy, but couldn't finish. And it'll be Ohio State to retain possession with 22 on the shot clock. Loops it again out for Cooper. Looks like the same play. Cooper runs it down and starts in. Pulls up at the head of the circle. A 19-footer, and she knocked it down. Cooper with a ball game right now. Has 16, and Ohio State's lead is 10. 49-39, Ohio State. It's a 13-4 run by the Buckeyes out of the locker room. At the left point, Gradijan for Florida Gulf Coast. Straight away for Julian. Starts in on Doss. Underhands the pass at the right wing for Nelson. Nelson will angle through. Mitchell deflected the ball, but recovered underneath by McGee. McGee smothered by McCoy, throws it across to the right corner. It's Julian who angles to the paint. Leave it on top. Gradijan's three, no. Calhoun, the Buckeye board. Calhoun left to right. Number's not there. Now she'll take it anyway to the low right. Goes to the basket, put it up, missed it. Tipped out of bounds off of Ohio State's McCoy. Calhoun did not have the numbers, took it anyway. Waterman's going to come in for the Buckeyes. Cooper out. Shayla Cooper checks out of this game with 10 boards to go along with 16 points. Full court pressure by the Buckeyes applied to Florida Gulf Coast's McGee, who will enter momentarily, but first a couple of substitutions. Nazrin Olel will check in for Florida Gulf Coast along with Jordan Alexander. Gradijan sits for the Eagles. Inbounds comes for Olel. Olel will bring it up right to left. First time we've seen her in the game. Olel, a freshman from Meridia, California, her second game of the year. Ball high right for Katani. 3.5 to play, third quarter. Ohio State's lead 10. This their largest lead. Ball to Nelson. Nelson will take Waterman. Foul line. Leaves it back on top now for McGee. She'll angle down the lane. Shot swatted out of bounds by McCoy of Ohio State. 8 to shoot. Eagles will keep it baseline, block left. Nelson will trigger. 8 to shoot. Nelson gets it in left block. It's McGee. McGee out to the left wing, and Nelson, 3 to shoot. Nelson starts in on Mitchell, 2 to shoot. She'll fling it up. Nelson turned around and missed everything. That's a shot clock violation. She flipped it up right at the key, and it was an air ball. And thus, with a horn going, a turnover, giving it to Ohio State. The 4th turnover for Florida Gulf Coast. 3:10 left, third quarter. Bucks by 10. Mitchell ahead of steam, goes all the way in for the right angle. Put it up, no good. From right of the rim with the left hand and missed it. She had a great first step, though. The rebound off to Ulel. Ulel starts in on Doss. Retreats, gives it on top for Nelson. Checked by Calhoun. Ball right wing for Alexander. Alexander fakes the pass. Plays it now on top for McGee. She'll shoot a 3 over McCoy. Banked and missed it. Waterman the rebound for the Buckeyes. For Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell to the foul line. Mitchell with a no-look pass from McCoy. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Ohio State. Ball was tipped out by Ulel. That was a good call. Fans didn't like it. Goodall. Dow. Radishin all in for Florida Gulf Coast. Katani along with Nelson and McGee all out. Inbounds Waterman. Underneath Mitchell. Great pass and feed and a layup for Mitchell at the right block. Kelsey with a dozen points, and Ohio State leads it by 12. 2.5 left, third quarter. It's been all Buckeyes in the third period. Head of the circle, Alexander for Florida Gulf Coast. Passes left point for Ulel. She'll send a 3 up there and knock it down. Her first collegiate points, Nazrin Ulel. Her first collegiate shot attempt by my record. 51-42, Ohio State. Mitchell's defender fell down. A step-back triple for Kelsey. Buried it. And there's the school record for Mitchell. She got her defender to go to the floor. Mitchell with a step-back pop and a triple and has 15 in the game. Career 3, number 271, the school record at Ohio State. For Florida Gulf Coast, a 3 by Goodall, no good. 150 left in the third. Bucks by a dozen in the rock. Doss at the right wing. Doss with a left-hand dribble. Comes off the screen of McCoy. Gives it back to Torrey. She powers into the right, and a charge called. Torrey McCoy went barreling into the defender that time, and that's her 4th personal foul. Player control foul. Buckeyes will bring Mavunga in. Also Cooper and Lewis. Calhoun to the bench, along with McCoy and Doss. 141 left in the third. Full court pressure by Ohio State. They lead by a dozen. Alexander gets the inbounds and brings it up. Now for Ulel. Ulel into front court. High right. Checked by Cooper. Fumbles the dribble. Cooper goes for the ball. Can't get it. Instead the pass for Gradishin. 15 to shoot. Gradishin drives in on Lewis at the foul line. Leaves it left wing. Ball fake by Goodall. Gives it near corner for Dow. Left side of the floor. Ball straight away now. Ulel will send another 3 up there. Goodness gracious. Hit it again. Ulel has not had a field goal all year and has taken 2 shots in this game and hit them both from 3. Minute 5 to play in the third. Mitchell to the left wing. Steps back off the screen. Shoots a 3. No good off the back iron. Lewis the rebound. Ohio State long. Goes to the bucket. Puts it up. No good. Mavunga the rebound. Had it taken away then. We're going to get a jump ball. Looked like a clean strip by the Eagles. Jump ball to arrow Florida Gulf Coast. Break there for the Buckeyes. They'll get the arrow at the period break. 53 seconds left in the third. Ohio State leading by 9. 54-45 Ohio State. Alexander at the top for Florida Gulf Coast. Directs traffic, works off to the right hash in front of the Eagles bench. Straight away for Dow. 38 seconds left in the quarter. 15 on the shot clock. Gradishin at the head of the wheel, off the screen. Starts in, retreats. 9 to shoot. Half minute to go in the third. Bounce pass right point for Alexander. 4 to shoot. Drives on Lewis, under the bucket. Out top for Ulel. A go again and hit it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Nazrin Ulel has hit 3 threes in this third. Has 9. Buckeyes lead is 6. 13 seconds left in the third. Her first shots of the year, and she's hit them all 3 from 3. Mitchell on the drive to the bucket, low left, throws it out in the corner and stepped out of bounds. A Buckeye turnover again with the quarter clock under 10 seconds. 5 seconds left in the third. Eagles down 6 after the length of the floor. Bounce pass in for Alexander. Into front court with 2. Alexander leaves it high right. It's a 3 at the horn, no good by Goodall, and that's the end of the third. Ohio State up 12 at one point, looked ready to give the haymaker. But Nazrin Ulel out of nowhere in the final 5 minutes of the third hitting 3 triples to single-handedly keep the Eagles in this one as we go to the fourth quarter in Estero. It's Ohio State 54, Florida Gulf Coast 48. Stay with us. The fourth quarter is next here on the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. Cooper, Mitchell, Lewis, Mavunga, Waterman the 5 right now for the Scarlet and Gray. Waterman drops a pass for Mitchell to the top. Kelsey Mitchell off the Mavunga screen. Mitchell right of the key, can't use it to Waterman at the head of the wheel. Passes to the left wing and Cooper. Cooper angled into the paint. Drop it for Mavunga. Great pass, and she banked it in at the left block. Cooper to Mavunga. 13 for Stephanie. 56-48 Buckeyes, half minute gone, fourth quarter. Down through traffic, out to the near corner, Julian. She'll drive through, throw it across. L's 3 that time. Ulel had it blocked by Lewis. They weren't going to let her get another clean look off. Jasmine Ulel shot swatted away with 20 to shoot. The Eagles will keep it. Florida Gulf Coast hit only 3 threes in that third quarter, all by Ulel. They look to get her to it on the inbounds. They can't, and the inbounds pass kicked by Mavunga. In fact, in that third quarter, Florida Gulf Coast 3 of 9 from 3, 3 of 3 for Ulel. Inbounds pass tipped by Mitchell. It's going to be run down near midcourt. Mitchell fights for the ball, takes it away. And a quick whistle, tie up, held ball arrow, Eagles. Kelsey went for that loose ball, and they claim a lockup, giving Florida Gulf Coast the ball. And now the officials will conference to check on where the shot clock should be. It's at 16. I don't think possession ever changed, so I think it's properly set. I think Florida Gulf Coast will have 16 seconds to shoot. It was a great defensive athletic play, though, by Mitchell going for that ball. Inbounds Ulel. She's got it all the way under the Buckeye hoop. She'll come back right to left. Works it up on Mitchell. 10 to shoot. Ulel at the top with a left-hand dribble. Pulls up on the bounce. Gives it to Alexander with 5 to shoot. Alexander throws it to the low right. 3 to shoot. Caught down there by Gradition. She missed a layup try. Waterman rips down the rebound for Ohio State. Now for Mitchell. Mitchell to the midline. Left corner open Lewis. Spot sends a 3. Short, no good. One and done. Quick trigger there by Lewis. And the rebound off to Julian. She was wide open, though, in that far corner. Julian to Alexander, who sets the floor. 1:10 gone in the third. The Buckeyes lead is 8. 56-48 here. Alexander leaves the pass for Gradition at the right point. Ball top of the circle, McGee. McGee fakes the 3 with 9 to shoot. Dribbles through traffic, goes in on Mavunga. Mavunga may have ordered the shot. It was missed. Mavunga the rebound. Here comes Mitchell up the left forecourt. Mitchell with a crossover. Pulled up at the top of the circle. Missed the jumper. Rebound long. Cooper saves to Mavunga of Ohio State. Now to Waterman at the left wing. Waterman will hand it off for Mitchell. She goes to the goal. Hooks a pass back on top for Waterman. Goes down the lane left side. Whistled on the drive and a foul called on the Eagles. 8:13 left in the game. Blocking foul. It'll be a common foul. Doss and Calhoun are in for the Buckeyes. Alexander calling for the foul. Lewis and Waterman go out for Ohio State. It's the first foul of the fourth quarter either way. Inbounds pass, Mavunga gives it back to Mitchell, who was not yet inbounds. She had not crossed into forecourt. Coach McGuff arguing the call. The official ruled she would not establish inbounds position, and Coach McGuff still pleading his case. 2 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Buckeyes lead 56-48. Ball head of the circle for Gulf Coast. Alexander drives to the left block. Shielded into a double team. Now gives it out at the head of the wheel for Nelson. Zips it over to the right corner. That's an open three by McGee, and she bagged it. Michaela McGee, second triple. She has 6, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game. 56-51 Ohio State, 7:45 to play here at Germain Arena. Mitchell off the Cooper pick. Down the lane right side to the basket. Laid it in with the right hand, Mitchell. 17 for Kelsey. That leads Ohio State. The lead is 7 for the Buckeyes. 58-51, 7.5 left. A three at the top, shot put it by Nelson, missed it. Rebound Mavunga, knocked away from her, but corrals then in backcourt. Now for Mitchell. Buckeyes 5-on-4 numbers. Mitchell to the left wing. She'll come off the Cooper screen, go back to her left. Mitchell to the baseline of the block, tripped and fouled starting in. She hit the floor hard. She appears to be okay. The mouth may have hit the floor. Foul's going to go on Julian. Second foul on Julian. Second of the quarter on Gulf Coast. Lodell is out. She gave him a big spark. She gets a big hand. Adderley in for the Eagles. 58-51 Ohio State with 7:17 left. Inbound from Mavunga at the left elbow. Hands to the right elbow for Cooper. Leaves it off for Doss. Doss to the right block. Strong to the goal. Put it up, missed the shot. Drew the foul and be on the line for 2 shots. Good take by Asia Doss. Foul went on McGee, her third. And Doss, with 1 free throw in the game and 2 tries, line right for 2. 58-51 Ohio State, 7:10 to play in the game. Buckeye win, and they play here tomorrow at 7:30. Free throw rattles the cage and goes for Asia Doss. 59-51 OSU. Second one for Doss. Got them both. Buckeyes have run 4. They lead at 60-51 with 7:08 to play in the game from Estero, Florida. In forecourt, Alexander left point, hands it back on top for Nelson. Nelson with a standing dribble, head of the circle. Veers right a bit. Checked there by Doss. At the right point, still on the dribble. Now a crossover. Nelson will throw it out to the left wing. It's Adderley. She'll move left to the key. 10 to shoot, nothing there. Pass goes on top for Alexander. Down the lane, through traffic, scooped it up with the right hand and missed it. Cooper the rebound for the Buckeyes. Shayla Cooper with another board. Mitchell has it and she'll slow the pace. It's unofficially the 11th rebound for Cooper today. Cooper sets a screen for Mitchell, who veers right to the right block, throws it across to Calhoun, open to the far corner, steps in, fires an 18-footer, swish! Sierra Calhoun with a big deuce there. The Bucks lead is 11. 7 for Calhoun, and Ohio State has run the last 6. 6:15 to go in the game. Nelson backs towards center circle. Starting in on Doss. Takes her right of the key to the bucket. Threw it up with the right hand and missed it. Mitchell to rebound. Mitchell 3-on-4. Mitchell through traffic slows the pace. Under 6 minutes to play. Kelsey off the Cooper pick at the top. Pulls up from 3. Mitchell knocked it down. Kelsey Mitchell with a cold-blooded triple high left. Has 20 with a swish. Buckeyes lead by 14, their largest lead of the game. 65-51 our score. Timeout on the floor here on the Ohio State IMG Sports Network. Buckeyes can get a win tomorrow against that team up north, we might just talk to Glenn for the halftime feature on Sunday. We'll see. But some Buckeye ties even on that Florida Gulf Coast bench over there. 5:50 to play. 65-51. Ohio State with the lead. They've outscored Florida Gulf Coast 11-3 in this fourth quarter. It's Julian in front court to our left. Dribbles head of the circle on Calhoun. Pass goes head of the circle for McGee. Comes back right point for Adderley. Swings it over to the right wing. It's Nelson. 10 to shoot. Julian has it at the top. Guarded by Calhoun. Good half-court Buckeye defense here. Julian in. Lost the ball. Simply lost it out of bounds. It's out of bounds off Julian. Buckeye ball with 4 on the shot clock. I've got to think Coach McGuff is going to be much more happy with his half-court defense in this game than what we've seen earlier on this year. Buckeyes slow the pace. 5:15 left. It's Mitchell behind the back of the foul line. Mitchell down the key left side. Left-hand scoop shot. Laid it up. Missed it. Rebound. Foul called on Mavunga, apparently for going over the back. 4th foul Mavunga. With 5:08 to play, it'll be Gulf Coast to inbound and to go 94 feet. Here comes Alexa Hart in for Ohio State to replace Mavunga. Buckeyes right now have Mitchell, Hart, Cooper, Doss, and Calhoun on the floor. Eagles get it in. Nelson, she'll bring it up right to left on Doss. Halfway through this final quarter, Ohio State up 14, 65-51. Nelson, high right, pulls up on the dribble. Gives it back to Nazrin Ulel, who has checked in. She gave the Eagles life in that third quarter with 3 triples. Ball to go top left for Gradijan, 8 to shoot. Gradijan guarded by Mitchell. Pretty much straight away, Gradijan plays it right wing for McGee, who will send a 3 up there, no good. Rebound Mitchell, Ohio State. I believe 4 threes. The only thing really Gulf Coast has been able to do in this second half, and 3 by Ulel. Buckeyes have guarded the perimeter much better in the second half. Mitchell stumbles on the dribble to the left corner in front of the Ohio State bench, far side. Crosses over, steps back, shoots a 3. Rolled off the cylinder, no good. Rebound Ulel. 4:15 to play. Bucks by 14. Ulel will stop at the top, shoot a 3. That one won't go. Cooper had the rebound, and on the rebound, a foul called. It's going to go on McGee, her 4th. Team foul 4 of the fourth quarter. And the Buckeyes will have it to go 94 feet, leading 65-41. And again, unofficially, the run is 9-0. Here's Mitchell in the front court, bounce pass, right point in front of us for Doss. Gives for Cooper, head of the circle. Now for Calhoun, high left. Calhoun holds the ball above her head, gives it for Doss, top of the key. Right wing near side Mitchell, lob it in for Hart. Power dribble to the low right, spins back to her left, banked it off the square from middle of the lane and put it in. Alexa Hart, her first points of the game. And the Buckeyes lead is 16, their largest with 3:40 to play, 67-51. Ohio State led this game 36-35 at halftime. We've got a timeout call by Florida Gulf Coast with 3:38 to go. That timeout called as Ohio State's Asia Toss was breaking down the floor, but they said the timeout was granted. So a 30-second break, we'll hold it right here. 67-51 is the Ohio State lead. That would be a 31-16 second half thus far for Ohio State. And the Buckeyes have really clamped down defensively in the second half. Elsie Mitchell unofficially with 14 fourth quarter points. Shayla Cooper has a double-double for Ohio State. Stephanie Mavunga has a double-double for the Buckeyes. 3:38 left. Mavunga's 3rd double-double of the year, the 1st for Cooper. Head of the circle, it's Dow, China Dow for Florida Gulf Coast to the trailer at the top. Gradijan, her 3-point shot's good. Taylor Gradijan now with 13 points. And it's 67-54, Buckeyes. 13-point lead with 3 and change to play. Ohio State appears to be headed for a 7:30 game tomorrow against the winner of either Syracuse or George Washington. An absolutely unbelievable call at the top. An illegal screen called on Hart. Her second foul. She was standing straight up and hadn't been moving for 3 seconds, and they caught an illegal pick. Not her fault they ran into it. 3:08 to play. Gulf Coast with the ball in a 13-point deficit. They flip it in underneath the bucket for Julian. She gets free and missed it from in close. Rebound Cooper of Ohio State. Mitchell slows as she brings it across left to right. And now starts ahead and pulls for 3 at the top. Mitchell swish! Kelsey Mitchell has 23. On a night in which she has set the Ohio State career 3-point mark. That one there will dagger Florida Gulf Coast 70-54 Buckeyes. 2:38 to play. Gradijan at the top to Dow, a top left 3. Got it. China Dow, her first 3 of the game. They trade triples, but Florida Gulf Coast has to get stops. They're down 13 with 2:20 left. Again, Mitchell, as if she's going to slow, and does, gets it across. Passes right wing, near side for Doss. Doss with 15 to shoot, crosses over, moves into the lane, fades away, short range jumper from 5 in the lane, good. Doss got it to go, and we've got a whistle after the play. And a foul called. I think they're going to go to the monitor. I'm not sure. They called the foul, I think, on Cooper. The official came from the trail to call the foul. Ed Zidlaski over, administrating a technical foul on Ohio State. Shayla Cooper called for a technical foul. It's her third. And line left, Rosemarie Julian with the lines empty will shoot 2 shots. Coach McGuff getting an explanation. Patrick Klein, Buckeye assistant, also getting an explanation. 72-57 Ohio State, just over 2 minutes to play. Cooper has played with a lot of energy and pizzazz here today, and she doesn't know exactly what she did. She talks to her teammates. Julian bags the first free throw, her 8th point. And now a second one. That's good. She has 9. And the Eagles are going to keep the ball to go the length of the floor with 2:08 to go, down 13. 72-59 Ohio State. Ulel in backcourt for Dowd, and back to Ulel, who brings it up. Just over 2 minutes left. Ulel still dribbling at the right side, drives to the baseline by Cooper and missed the layup. They're going to call a foul afterwards on Alexa Hart of Ohio State. Unbelievable. Coach McGuff can't believe it. Though it was a late whistle, but they claim that Hart fouled her on a push from behind. Well, they don't. It's not a late whistle because they're giving her 2 shots. A very bizarre foul there. To keep it kind. Ulel, line left, hit the first free throw, her 10th point. She had not scored collegiately until this, her second game. Cooper checks out. 72-60, Buckeyes by a dozen. Second one from Ulel is good. And now it's an 11-point game. Under 2 to play. No pressure by the Eagles. Mitchell will slow and bring it across. Mitchell on the take, left of the key. Mitchell into the lane, push from behind. Foul called on the Eagles. Julian guilty of her 3rd. Kelsey Mitchell for 2 shots. Has 23 in the game, 1 off of her average. That free throw right down the middle. 24 for Mitchell. Here's the second one from Kelsey. It's up and in. 25 in the game, 1,884 in her career. That is 8th on the Ohio State list. Closing in on 7. 74-61 Buckeyes, minute 40 to go. She's a junior, folks. Ball head of the circle, Julian for Gulf Coast. Passes for Ulel at the right wing. Drives Mitchell to the right block. Mitchell fouled her. Shot attempt at the right block. Foul by Ulel. Beg your pardon, foul on Ulel by Mitchell, and Ulel will shoot 2. First one good. That's a dozen points for Nazra Nulel. 74-62 Ohio State with 94 seconds left. Trying to Dow checks out. Gradijan in, second one good for Ulel. That's 13 for her. And with 92 seconds left, Ohio State's lead is 12, 74-60, make that 11, 74-63. There's Mitchell through the center, now back for Hart, who laid it in. Back cutting Hart from the right angle. Mitchell hooked it over her head. Hart with a lay-in and has 4 points. Buckeyes still pressing, up 13 with a minute 15 to go. And now Julian breaks it in forecourt for Florida Gulf Coast. Standing dribble top right. Works out of the circle with a minute 6 to go. Ball over to the right wing, it's good all. Top of the circle for Gradijan. There it is, 1 minute to play in the game. And if you were at Value City Arena, you know the rest for the student section. Far right corner, Gradijan, baseline drive under the bucket, comes out to the left wing, passes for Ulil at the top, 2 to shoot. She'll send it right wing for a 3 by Goodall, and she hit it at the shot clock horn. Goodall's first points, a sophomore from just over the Ohio River in Columbus, Indiana. 76-66 Buckeyes with 38 seconds left. Florida Gulf Coast, a good ball club. The favorites to win the A-Sun, and we're seeing why. Waterman at the high left with a half minute to go, and they fouled Waterman to prolong the inevitable. Out on Ulel. And now it'll be Waterman line right for 2 with Ohio State up 10 and a half minute to go in the game. We'll hear from head coach Kevin McGuff shortly after this one. First one up and in from Michaela Waterman, her 3rd point, a sophomore from Fairmount High School in Kettering, Ohio. Averaging 7 points, 4.5 rebounds. A game coming off a season high 15 against LIU Brooklyn. Here's a second one for Waterman. Got them both. 4 for Michaela, 78-66 Buckeyes. Half minute to go, Ohio State pressing full court. The inbounds pass deflected and stolen by Waterman of Ohio State. Waterman is fouled. I don't understand it. Florida Gulf Coast was not pressing with 3-4 minutes left, trailing by 15, and now they're fouling here in the final possessions, in the final seconds. But Waterman will take it and head back to the line for 2. First one from Waterman. Rattles out, no good. Missed free throw. 28.5 seconds remaining. It's 78-66 Ohio State. Waterman sets and fires and hit it. 5 points for Michaela Waterman. It's 79-66 Buckeyes. In a front court, Gradijan for Gulf Coast. Drives on Hart, now stops. Comes back out to the top, hands for Ulel. She'll step in, why not? 3-point shot, no good. Flop to the floor, 15 seconds left. Waterman the rebound for Mitchell. She'll cross the line with 10 seconds to play, and the Buckeyes will peel off and not take another shot. A hard-fought game 1 here in Estero goes to Ohio State. Here comes the horn. 8th-ranked Ohio State 79, Florida Gulf Coast 66. The final, the Buckeyes will play tomorrow night at 7:30 against the winner of the nightcap, Syracuse or George Washington. 79-66, the final, Ohio State over Florida Gulf Coast. Stay with us. Our postgame is coming up next. You're listening to the Ohio State IMG Sports Network.